Okay, in this video tutorial, we're going to add a second shapefile to the map and deal with editing templates. And then we're going to add a field to the attribute table and calculate area for your land use. So in the map, we already have our background images, we've got our bounding box, and we have our image from 1953 that we've done some preliminary digitizing into. But let's add a shapefile from 2002 and see what happens when we start editing. So we want to make sure we're editing that new shapefile. And notice that the only thing populated in your Create Features window is the original 1953 layer. This is the original template that was created in this ArcMap project. To fix this, we need to create a new template. We're going to organize templates by clicking on this button, which opens up an Organize Feature Templates window. We're going to create a new template and then add the 2002 layer to this new template. And just click Finish and Close, and you can see it's been added. Because we had 1953 already checked, just added it again, but it's the same layer. So now if we wanted to edit the 2002, we would select this layer and notice that it brings up our polygon editing tools. Okay, now that we have some of our areas digitized, let's go ahead and calculate areas for agriculture, developed, non-developed, etc. So when you're editing, notice if we go into the attribute table for 1953, we want to add a field that we can calculate area into. And if you notice when you drop down the options menu, add field is grayed out, and that's because we're actively editing right now. We need to stop editing, save our edits, then if we add a field, we're allowed to do so. So let's call it area, and I recommend always putting units in here. We'll just call it hectare. We'll call it HA for hectare. Let's make it a floating point and leave the precision and scale. Now that we have our new field, right-click and calculate geometry to calculate the area. It's okay to do the calculation out of an edit session. We are calculating area, but notice that you can also calculate the perimeter of a polygon as well as the x and y coordinates of a centroid of the polygons. We want to use the same coordinate system as the data source, and we want to change our units to hectares. And hit OK. And it automatically calculates those for us. If we take a look at the 2002 data and open that attribute table, you can see that I've already created a land use column here and calculated the area in square meters. Obviously you'd want both your area measurements to be in the same units, and you're going to want to create a land use column in the 1953 data also, and create some sort of categorical reference for yourself. This way you can symbolize this data based on the land use type. If we move this out of the way and go into the layer properties for 2002, and go to the symbology tab, we can pick categorical data as our way of symbolizing unique values, and notice there's a value field. We can choose land use, because we've created that column, and add all values to see our different categories. We shouldn't need this one, we can uncheck that, hit OK. And it changes our symbology to uniquely symbolized by category. Okay, so you're probably going to want to go through, right now I have it set at 50% transparency. Remember that is found in the display tab. You can set the transparency for your layer. Remember to use intuitive symbology. For example, the riparian area might want to be blue, not the agriculture. Just give the symbology a little bit of thought. That's pretty much it for this tutorial.